I think it's absolutely clear that the Conservatives have completely lost control of the asylum system. We have 173,000 people in the backlog. They've completely failed to get a returns deal with the European Union, and they're failing to crack down on the people smuggler gangs.
True, but that wasn't what I asked. I asked what a Labour government would do.
Yeah, so we have a very clear plan, which is to scrap the unworkable, unaffordable and unethical Rwanda plan and use that money to fund the National Crime Agency properly so they can work more effectively with Europol and Interpol. We would clear the backlog by upgrading the seniority of the caseworkers and decision makers in the Home Office, and by triaging, so you have high grant rate countries and low grant rate countries being processed much more quickly. And we would get that crucial returns deal with the European Union so that every person who tries to cross on a small boat will be sent back to mainland Europe. But we're very realistic. We know you only get a deal like that if you do your bit. So
the
we
French
also
aren't
have
going to go anywhere near that.
Controlled pathways. Well, as I was saying, we have to do our bit. So the quid pro quo is that we take a controlled, safe and legal pathways for people who are applying to come to the UK. In return for that, the European Union agrees to take back anybody that tries to cross on a small boat, take them back to mainland Europe. We know that to do a deal with the European Union, Mr. Kinnock,
why would they? We've kissed the European goodbye. We're in Brexit now. It's absolutely in the interest of France to get rid of these people, get shot of them. There's nothing in it for them.
Well, it's certainly not in President Macron's interest to have thousands and thousands of people massing on the coast of Calais. This is a collective issue, a collective European issue that requires a collective European response. Now, the difference between Labour and the Conservatives is we command respect across Europe, and Keir Starmer as Prime Minister would be able to negotiate that deal.
The triage point you make, what you're saying is effectively sending a message to, I don't know, places like Afghanistan, to Kabul, saying, OK, we understand there's a chance that some of your people need asylum, but Albania, India, no way. Is that what you're saying? Because that message could have been sent long ago and isn't getting through.
The reality is that there are 5 or 6 countries that have very high approval rates, such as Syria, Afghanistan, etc. And then there are a number of countries such as India, which have very, very low approval rates. So it's clear that you could clear a lot of the backlog more quickly by doing the high grant rate and low grant rate countries much more rapidly, and then by upgrading the seniority of the caseworkers and decision makers, because the Tories back in 2013 crazily decided to downgrade that job. As a result, you had lower productivity and poorer decisions being made, more exposed to appeals, which further clogged up the system.
OK, coming ashore, we now have the situation where they were marched on board the other day, they're marched off. Looks like something of a fiasco, but Labour would keep that barge, wouldn't you?
We're going to have to deal with the mess that we inherit. We are very clear that there shouldn't be a single person on a barge or in a hotel or in a military base.
No, I'm sorry, you would keep that barge as things stand. You're not junking the idea, are you?
None of these inappropriate, extortionately expensive places are appropriate places for asylum seekers to be. But we don't have a magic wand. We can't fix things on day one. We will have to inherit the mess we inherit and sort it out as rapidly as is humanly possible.